Bill Maher smirked and said, "Got anything smarter than a slogan?" Karoline Leavitt reached under her chair, and the entire room changed. She brought stats. He brought sarcasm, but only one left the crowd speechless. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because when Bill Maher tries to take down Karoline Leavitt live on air and ends up questioning his own notes, you know something big is coming. The studio lights were warm, the audience ready to laugh. Real Time with Bill Maher had a familiar rhythm, wit, sarcasm, and a room primed to echo him. Bill sipped from his mug, grinning. Tonight, we've got someone who's been making waves. Karoline Leavitt, young, confident, dangerous with a stat sheet. The crowd chuckled. Karoline walked onto the stage in a fitted navy blazer, calm and collected. No flashy entrance, no nervous glances, just stillness and eye contact. Maher leaned in. "So, Karoline," he said, tone playful but loaded, "how does it feel speaking at a Pam Bondi rally where half the crowd thinks TikTok is foreign policy?" Laughter, louder this time. Karoline tilted her head slightly, the kind of movement that said, "Nice try." Maher smirked. "Seriously, do you guys actually believe crime is up, or is that just a great talking point?" The audience braced for another punchline. Karoline reached under her chair and pulled out a folder. "I brought something better than talking points, Bill," she said softly. "I brought the numbers you didn't." And when she opens that folder, one of TV's sharpest minds won't know what to say next. Karoline flipped open the folder slowly, no theatrics, just precision. She pulled out a printed bar chart and placed it directly in front of Maher. Violent crime rates by year, 5 major cities, all run by the people you say we should trust more. Maher leaned in, partly amused, partly curious. The screen behind them lit up, showing the same chart. 2019 versus 2023. A red line running sharply upward. The audience stopped chuckling. Karoline continued, "You asked if we believe crime is up. I don't need to believe it, Bill. I read it." Scattered applause. Maher tapped his pen. "Stats are tricky. I could find data that says the opposite." Karoline didn't flinch. "Then why haven't you?" The crowd gasped, not loud, but with weight. She slid a second page toward him. "Here's your show's coverage on crime in the last 6 months. One segment, 5 minutes." The room went still. Maher looked down, then smiled thinly. "Well, I'm a comedian, not a reporter." Karoline nodded. "Exactly, but the country's listening. And when jokes replace journalism, truth gets replaced too." Even Maher couldn't fire back immediately. But what else was in that folder? And would Maher be ready for what she showed next? The energy in the room shifted, not dramatically, but definitely. Laughter turned into listening. Maher leaned back slightly in his chair, searching for a line that might regain control. "Well, Karoline, I don't think anyone's doubting that crime exists, but you're not exactly known for nuance." Karoline smiled, for the first time all night. "I'm not here for nuance, Bill. I'm here for truth. And the truth doesn't care how clever we sound when we ignore it." A low "ooh" murmured from the crowd. Maher cleared his throat. "You've got confidence. I'll give you that." Karoline flipped to another page in her folder. "This isn't confidence, she said. "It's preparation." She raised the paper. "Here's a transcript of your own interview from 3 years ago when you said high crime rates were a right-wing exaggeration." Gasps. She continued, Right after that episode aired, New York saw a 27% spike in violent crime over 10 weeks. Maher froze, blinked. "I didn't cause crime." "No one said you did," Karoline replied. "But you helped distract from the people who let it happen." The audience was silent. Even the crew looked up from their monitors. But was this a rhetorical win, or the beginning of a reckoning Maher never saw coming? Maher let out a soft chuckle, not amused, but disarmed. "You came ready to take my job," he said. Karoline shook her head gently. "I came ready to challenge your format." He looked at the papers again, then at her. "You know, I built this platform so we could ask uncomfortable questions." Karoline leaned in slightly. "Then why do you flinch when someone answers them?" Silence, no laugh track, no witty save, just air thick with realization. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't need to. Maher sat back, folded his hands. "You're good. Scary good." Karoline gave him a respectful nod. "This isn't a game, Bill. I'm not here for a clip. I'm here because too many people can't afford to be in this room." He looked down, then said quietly, "And yet, here you are." She smiled. "Not to be seen, to be heard." The audience applauded, slow at first, then building. It wasn't for drama. It was for courage. Maher finally smiled. A real one. "No one's ever said that to me on this stage." Karoline responded, "Maybe it was time someone did." But would that honesty echo after the cameras cut? Or would it fade behind the next scripted monologue? The clip went viral overnight. Twitter, X, trended #Leavitt effect, Billbacks, Down Hard Truth, on-air podcasts dissected every line. TikTok ran split-screen breakdowns. Even rival commentators reposted it with stunned captions like, "She flipped the format." That wasn't a guest. That was a reckoning. But Karoline wasn't online. She was speaking at a high school debate club the next morning. No press, no crew, just kids. She stood by a whiteboard with one phrase written in black marker. "Say it smart. Say it straight." Back in the HBO studios, Maher sat alone in his dressing room. No jacket, no cue cards. Just his laptop open to an email from his own staff. "Tonight's episode. Should we bring her back?" He didn't answer immediately. He scrolled through comments on the show's page. One read, "For once, the guest wasn't the entertainment. She was the voice." Another, "Maher looked small, and that was refreshing." He closed the laptop, sat quietly, then pulled a notepad closer and wrote one line. "Invite her again, but this time, listen." But would his invitation be for redemption or just for ratings? 2 weeks later, Real Time with Bill Maher opened differently. No joke, no music, just Bill, standing alone. "I've had a lot of guests, and I've pushed back. That's my job. But sometimes, someone pushes back harder and smarter." The audience stayed quiet. He smiled. "You probably know who I'm talking about. So let's not waste time. Please, welcome back, Karoline Leavitt." Thunderous applause. She walked in, same calm, same focus. But now, the room leaned toward her, not back. They sat. No folder this time, just words. "I didn't come to settle a score," she said. "I came because I believe truth deserves a seat, even when the room isn't built for it." Maher nodded. "You changed the way we do this," he said. Not many can say that. She looked out at the crowd. I didn't want to change you, Bill. I wanted to remind your audience they're allowed to think louder than they laugh. Online, the moment trended again. But this time, the hashtag was simple. The shift. In a classroom in Florida, a teacher wrote that on the whiteboard. Under it, speak with data, stand with dignity. Now it's your turn. When they hand you the mic, will you entertain them or educate them? Drop your voice in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you believe smart doesn't need to shout, it just needs a seat.